Recently on the channel I did a Yu-Gi-Oh Monsters as SCPs episode. I had a lot of fun doing this and it seems you guys enjoyed it as well. Seeing as that's the case, I thought we could continue the fun, turning some Yu-Gi-Oh monsters into SCPs. There's so much to work with and I'm super excited for the epic designs we can come up with. That being said, I'm super excited for this one, so let's bring these illustrations to life. What are you doing here? It's only the other day that you were over here learning about SCP-Y-RB001, SCP-Y-5458, and SCP-Y-5893. What was that? It's been 3 months since then? Has it? Oh, so it has. I guess time flies when you're enjoying your work, or when you're locked in a room for the Foundation without any windows, natural light, sense of day or night. Oh, did I say that out loud? Ignore that part. You have an order from the Foundation to find out more about some of the SCPs from the incident involving Professor Muto's discoveries. I guess I can start with SCP-Y-1052, designation Demonic Lightning Skull. This anomaly stands at 7 feet tall with large blue wings on its back. Its body is covered in a bone-type armor. Where the armor isn't covering the body, it has what looks like a body without skin on it. That is to say, it's just like the muscular structure of any creature when it has been skinned. But perhaps this is the least terrifying feature of SCP-Y-1052. The head of this one is a living skull with glowing green eyes, several horns coming out the sides of the top of the skull, no nose and a large exposed mouth and teeth, with what can be best described as an angry look on its face all the time. Reminds me of RBF, but we won't go into that. SCP-Y-1052 has been located in Sector Gamma 6 and is another territorial creature, often attacking anything that wanders within its domain, for lack of a better word. However, the level of attack that SCP-Y-1052 has towards any it deems unworthy of living range from a ferocious slashing with its large tri-clawed hands to a rather devastating lightning-based attack that can fry any living thing in its path. The team that the Foundation sent to study SCP-Y-1052 was scheduled to report back after making contact and collecting the initial intel on this anomaly. However, the Foundation has since discovered that the site the team were stationed at had been completely destroyed. In fact, the report described several scorch marks from intense electrical burns all over the debris. It looked like something had caused a massive explosion, except it couldn't have been from anything the team from the Foundation had with them. The equipment could not produce such devastating damage. Just then, there was a loud, bone-chilling roar from the distance. The agents, sent to find out what happened, looked in the direction of the terrifying sound to see yellow bolts of lightning shooting up from the ground to the sky. This had the agents in a state of confusion. They were told to expect anything when they had become field agents, but none of them had experienced anything like this. The sound of thunder and crackling got louder and louder. As the bolts of lightning got closer and closer, a sense of fear began to take over the agents. Even though they stood at their ground and remained in a defensive formation, every part of their instincts must have been telling them to get out of there. I have seen the footage, and even I wanted to run from the sight of yellow lightning bolts flying up from the ground while getting closer and closer to where they were. And I was in my lab, safe and sound, miles away from SCP-Y-1052. What happened next confirmed several of the abilities mentioned earlier. The first was its ability to fly. SCP-Y-1052 suddenly took to the air, allowing the agents to see a large glow in the sky. The source of the yellow lightning, SCP-Y-1052, proceeded to land right in front of the agents, its skull-like face covered in what looked like living lightning. The sight of this anomaly even took me by surprise, despite how fascinating it looked. As mentioned earlier, SCP-Y-1052 is extremely territorial. As you can imagine, it did not take too kindly to the agents being within its domain. SCP-Y-1052 spread its blue wings wide and launched itself at the agents. Despite firing their guns at SCP-Y-1052, the bullets just bounced off the bone-like armor. Using its large, powerful claws, it mauled at the agents, tearing them limb from limb. One agent did try to get away, however. SCP-Y-1052 extended its arm and threw a lightning bolt at the agent, stunning them, before it walked over and picked the agent up, lifting them off the ground in the air with one arm. It then proceeded to bring the agent's face in front of its, the agent's leg dangling above the ground. SCP-Y-1052 then screamed in the face of the agent, before discharging a massive electrical charge covering its body and frying the agent by cooking him until there was nothing but a charred skeleton in scorched armour. Since then, Sector Gamma-6 is now off limits to all Foundation personnel, again, until a suitable containment method has been confirmed. It's not as if all anomalies in the SCP-Y classification are all giant beasts that are super territorial and violent. There have been cases of a few SCP-Y class anomalies discovered that, although powerful, are rather intelligent and assess the situation just like you and I would. One such entity is SCP-Y-7741. Due to the obnoxious demeanour it has, been designated the Obnoxious Guard. This anomaly seems rather average to the eye when first observed, and speaks in a strange language, a language that seems to have left the scientists in the Foundation baffled. To date, there's been no successful translation, other than a few rudimentary words relating to objects and basic things such as food or water. With that said, SCP-Y-7741 has a rather serious side to its personality, often defending those who are weaker from other anomalistic entities. SCP-Y-7741 is what can be described as an elf-like creature, with a warrior's type of armour. Large, shoulder-like armour with a helmet that has a red gem in the centre and bladed shapes on the side. The weapon of choice for this entity? Yes, this anomaly has a weapon. Although uncommon, as most SCPs are more monstrous in nature or have certain abilities for that matter, SCP-Y-7741 has a rather large sword that is made from another material unknown to the Foundation. As mentioned before, SCP-Y-7741 has an obnoxious temperament. However, it also has a sense of duty. The obnoxious attitude displayed is due to its stubbornness to back down in battle. In fact, it has been reported by agents that, although cautious, SCP-Y-7741 has shown it is an entity with an enormous sense of duty and honour, defending those of the Foundation from the ever more monstrous SCPs in Sector Omega Alpha 3. This has helped agents on the Foundation to monitor other SCPs within this region. It has been discovered in a recent incident that SCP-Y-7741 may be immortal, or at least for a short period of time possess the immortal attributes when dealing with opponents that are vastly stronger than itself. In this immortal state, SCP-Y-7741, its armour and weapons all become impervious to any form of damage or attack. SCP-Y-7741 has even blocked the attack from a large whitish-blue dragon-type SCP, protecting Foundation members while receiving no damage at all. I would like to note that in this state, as mentioned before, it is only present when battling a vastly stronger opponent. In tests, it has been observed that any creature with a similar or slightly stronger power is able to injure SCP-Y-7741. Due to this, and the fact that SCP-Y-7741 has proven to be one of the more friendlier, as well as easier to contain entities, the Foundation has allowed a special team of agents to make use of SCP-Y-7741's unique nature and abilities to ensure the safe study and containment of various SCPs that would otherwise prove deadly. Next, we have a rather interesting one for you, SCP-Y-3643. This SCP has a rather unique and troublesome ability to deal with, which we'll get onto shortly. SCP-Y-3643 is a doll-like entity in the shape of what can best be described as a dragon. This strange SCP looks almost mechanical in nature, and is quite terrifying to look at. Purple in colour with a long tail and sharp claws. You could hear the sound of this mecha-like SCP as it walked across the ground. SCP-Y-3643 is capable of flight. Well, while it may appear to be flight, in reality it is more like hovering or gliding above the ground. The strangest part of this SCP is that when observed using a set of goggles the Foundation have created to monitor the various spectrums of light deemed invisible to the human eye, these goggles show the visualization of energy, and when SCP-Y-3643 is viewed through them, this entity is covered in a blue type of energy with several beams of purple light coming from key joints that fade into the air. We are not sure what these purple lights are, but we do think it helps SCP-Y-3643 to move by manipulating those parts of the doll-like body. I think the closest thing this SCP resembles is one of those Zord type of things from those kid shows, Power Rangers, Voltron, and such like. The size of this SCP is roughly triple that of a lion. Samples of the energy surrounding SCP-Y-3643 have come back as nothing out of the ordinary. However, scientists at the Foundation have been unable to determine the energy source. It is also worth noting that the volume of energy engulfing SCP-Y-3643 is on a scale so large, if we could find a way to harness it, experiments as well as power for all Foundation requirements can be met for the next 100 years. That said, we would need to either contain SCP-Y-3643 or its energy source. Although SCP-Y-3643 is more of a puppet in nature, it does possess a rather unique and troublesome ability, which has caused issues studying it, let alone completing a successful containment. SCP-Y-3643 has the ability to instantaneously transport itself or its target to a location they were present at 24 hours prior. Let me clarify, this is not time travel, but a spatial distortion which folds 2 points in space and effectively teleports the target to the location. How SCP-Y-3643 has knowledge of the location for its target is still, as of yet, unknown. However, it has been observed that SCP-Y-3643 can only teleport one target every 5 minutes. Agents have reported. Also confirmed by Foundation analysts, SCP-Y-3643 will only use its ability on itself once it is about to be captured. It would appear that unless it has no other choice, SCP-Y-3643 will choose to fight or flee, other than use its ability on itself. We are unsure what the reason for this is. Perhaps it causes some form of damage to the energy core or to the entity, but that is yet unknown. The Foundation has deemed capture and containment of SCP-Y-3643 an urgent priority. However, we have still yet to find a means to counter its ability to teleport itself or its targets to a location in the last 24 hours. I have to say, I'm really enjoying how this series is turning out, and it might be one of my favourite on the channel so far. With that said, there's plenty of Yu-Gi-Oh monsters that we can suggest to turn into SCPs. So, like with the awesome suggestions from the last video, let me know in the comments below which ones you'd like to see. If you're new to the channel, why not check out the video that started this series off? What if Yu-Gi-Oh monsters were SCPs? Or maybe the Superheroes SCP series? I have a couple of those. There's even an SCP Venomized episode. Maybe I should do another video around that series in the future, who knows. With that said, why not check out the videos over here? I highly recommend the What if Superheroes were SCPs? Anyway, stay safe everybody, catch you next time.